Why did I just see a video of a girl trying to set her boyfriend up on one of those dating tests to see if he's loyal or not? And the plot twist just unlocked a new fear for me. The girl come in and she instantly on that with the girl, talking about some, why is she wearing that? She got her chest all out in front of my boyfriend. Like, I didn't agree to this. And the girl's like, girl, I'm literally here to help you test your man to see if he's loyal. Like, do you not want me to actually give him a good test? And she rolling her eyes, giving her attitude. Like, she's instantly already like giving bad energy to the girl as if she's not trying to help her. But just wait, it gets worse. The girl and the boyfriend meet up or whatever. She's watching from back in the back with the cameras with the dude, you know, assessing the situation and seeing if he's gonna cheat. The boyfriend instantly starts flirting with the girl, instantly. And it's like, oh my God, it's one of those situations where we finna see her crash out because her boyfriend is cheating. No, just wait. Why does she run down the stairs talking about some, you cheated old dude, da 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 da, cursing him out? He's like, I blocked you 3 months ago. I joined y'all the whole time. She set this dude up on a test and it wasn't even her boyfriend. Everybody's sitting there looking confused, like, sir, like, so pretty much this is my channel. Like, is this your girlfriend? He's like, no, I've been trying to escape her. Of course, I know you're wondering, what did she say? What did she have to say for herself when he said that I have had you blocked for 3 months? This girl had the nerve to open up her mouth and say, am I blocked or are you running from me? How are you not embarrassed, girl? Did you not know this was gonna get posted everywhere? Like, she ain't have no shame. Could you imagine? Could you imagine getting tested for loyalty and you're not even dating somebody? Restraining order.
I'm so confused why women are now getting hate for saying, and who gonna be the boys?
Because y'all are being homophobic. There, I said it. Y'all are being homophobic. Black women are consistently so homophobic without even realizing that they are doing it. Oh, who's gonna be the boys? Oh, men are in their feminine era. What are men doing that is feminine? Why do you view femininity as a bad quality to have? Who gonna be the boys? Who gonna be the boys? Have you ever considered that these men don't want you? Have you considered that? And it's not even like straight men that they be in the comments of. It'll be gay men. It'll be literal gay, bisexual men being feminine, and then all the comments are, who gonna be the boys? You're just gonna have to be the boy. They want the boys. They're gonna go get the boys. They are being the boys. I fear they are being the boys actively. They're actively being the boys. In the big year of 2025, Black people are continuing to perpetuate these outdated and unnecessary gender stereotypes that does nothing but put people in a box that they can't venture outside of and fear of being called out of their name. Who's gonna be the boys? Who's gonna be the boys? Go find a boy. Go find one. I promise you they're still out there. Get off the phone. Go find a man that you want to be with. And another thing, whenever anybody brings up how this narrative is in fact homophobic, y'all are all up in the comments like, oh, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. Anyways, who's gonna be the boy? That's anti-intellectualism, babes. It's running rampant in our community and it's doing us nothing but harm. Not being able to think about the social implications of a harmless joke is not a good look. It's not a good look at all.
Are you single?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Because no one likes me. I mean, if someone did, I have a better chance.
Why do you think no one likes you?
Because I'm drinking every weekend and I'm out with the girls, as you can see. I mean, one of them's got a boyfriend because he's over there with her, bless him.
Would you want a relationship?
Absolutely.
If you know the issue, why not improve them for a relationship?
Because I'm not letting anyone break my heart for the second time. I'm not letting anyone break my heart again. I'd rather get drunk. Alcohol hurts less than heartbreak, so I'd rather drink.
Talk to me about your last breakup. How'd that happen?
Because they didn't appreciate me as much as I appreciate them.
Were you doing everything?
Yeah.
What are the qualities do you think you have now that will make you a good wife?
I mean, I can't cook, so that shit. I mean, literally, I'd do anything for anyone. It's embarrassing. I'm at the point where, like, literally, I would do anything for anyone, and they take advantage of it.
What is it that they're actually doing in the relationship that makes you feel unappreciated?
Ask them. Ask my ex.
I don't know him.
No, it was a girl, the most recent one, mate.
Oh, so
The most recent one was a girl. And you ask her and she will tell you, I appreciated the of her, worship the ground that she'd walk on, and she didn't give a
Since when was cooking a wife duty? It'd be the same people. I'm not saying you specifically that stand by, oh, women don't belong in the kitchen, but you're calling it a wife duty. Again, I'm not saying specifically this person. Like 90% of the comments are like, I'm not doing wife duties, I'm not doing this. It'd also be the same people that expect their man to do so many things for them to know everything about cars, about their car, go fix their tire, go do this for them that are manly things. But they won't cook because it's a wife duty.
Take a seat, get comfortable, be prepared to be shocked. Because if you don't already know this about me, then you don't, and you're gonna be like, really? Probably. Maybe you'll be like, ah, yeah, I can see that. Okay, let me get to it. So pretty much, a couple years ago, I had a spicy account. And I did it for like 6 months. I wasn't consistent with it. Like, it was just something I was just doing at the time, whatever. Honestly, pretty much just did it for fun. But I was just sitting here. I ordered pizza. I'm waiting for a pizza. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, what if I did it again? Hypothetically, probably most likely not gonna do it again. But I'm like, in my mind, I literally was like, the money that I just spent on this man, the amount of money I spent on this man, I should make an account again and get back that money from multiple men. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Maybe it's not funny. Maybe I'm just stupid. But I think that's kind of funny. And I could do it. I could easily do it. I don't know. What are we thinking? Do I get in that bag era again? Take a couple pictures, make a couple videos? Who knows?
So there was a woman in the comments that said, I really need you to go to therapy. And I tend to agree. Ma'am, your self-esteem for some reason has taken a massive hit. And now you're trying to get back on this spicy account to recoup your money. Essentially what she's processing right now is she went on a date with a man from Tinder, ended up handling him, if you know what I mean, like just with her hands. And in the middle of her handling him, his ex-girlfriend called. And then he talked to his ex-girlfriend for a little while. He got off the phone and came back to her and said, now, where were we? Girl, go get help.
3 habits I have picked up from men since consistently dating over the last 3 months. If you ask me a question that I don't want to answer, I will simply ignore it now. For example, you ask me what my IG handle is and I don't want to answer that. I will tell you that I'm cooking pork chops tonight and women need to learn how to serve their men again. It works every time. Never see it coming. Dating is just a long, drawn-out psyop. Habit number 2 I've picked up. You don't have to provide solutions when problems are presented to you. That's tough is a full sentence. Stop using your critical thinking skills for men that are not yet critical to you. And lastly, it's okay to be cringy at the beginning. Men kind of like it. They don't get compliments often, so little compliments go a long way. This dude slid into my DMs and asked me how my day was. I responded and said, better now that we're connected. Disgusting, right? That's literally repulsive. We have a date this Friday. Yeah. It works every time. Be cringy. It's okay. It's the language that they speak. Like, truly, it works every time.
How come y'all be bothered with guys like this? It's like y'all want to waste y'all's time.
Guys, imagine dating a guy and he's just like, wait, I'd rather park like 4 miles away because I don't want to pay for valet. Or he's the type of guy and he's like, what's another thing? Like, we're going to the movies on a Friday night and he's like, wait, I packed Raisinets for us so we don't have to buy snacks at the movies. Or what's another thing? We're going to the beach on a Saturday and it's beautiful out. And he's like, wait, we don't need to spend money going to Starbucks before to get sandwiches or get sandwiches at the beach stand. I'm gonna pack sandwiches for us before. Could you guys date a guy like that? Could you?
I can't wait to see the comments.
I could.
Oh, we know.
Hey, I heard some women say, where all the real men at? What the men that treat women right? What the men that take women on dates and date nights? Y'all ain't looking for them because y'all say they corny. Y'all say they simps. Y'all say they tricks. I'm going to tell you what those type of men at. I'm going to tell you where we at. We sitting somewhere with our wives. The women that treat us right. The women that appreciate how we treat them. That's where we at. We taking. Only thing left for y'all is scraps. Go out there and be goddamn dogs and go hunt for biscuits or something. That's what, you know what? The us real men or where the real women at? where we appreciate each other, having a real relationship, living a real life, setting real goals, achieving real goals, while y'all complaining about how everybody else thinks. Y'all ain't
Love single moms. Love a good baby mama. And I don't know where we started this sentiment that men don't like women with children when I've never seen a single mom struggle to get a man or keep one. This whole idea that having children devalues you or doesn't make you a hot commodity or doesn't make you desirable or someone's first pick is a lie. It's the same thing with older women. They love older women and they love single moms. But love single moms more than they like an independent woman who has her everything together. Because a man can easily find where he fits in the lifestyle or the life of a single mom. You know, nobody wants to raise children alone. It's not desirable. Women who become single moms don't set out to be single moms, at least the ones that I know. I'm not saying that there aren't some single moms that are crazy, that are reckless, that are out there who don't prioritize being a parent. I'm just saying this narrative for all single moms needs to be discarded. It's simply not true. Just how they try to prove to you, oh, a woman past 30 over 30. It's all a bunch of lies. It's all things literally to make you feel insecure as a woman so that you have to settle for the bottom of the barrel. You can only take scrapings. It's literally a conditioning of your mind to make women think that you're not as desirable as you age and you're not as desirable with kids, so you might as well pick me. It's literally so can get you. It's so that you will lower their standard to be with them, because by telling you that you're not a top priority or you're not the number one pick, it's all a bunch of baloney. You've always been a top pick. You will always continue to be a top pick. And anything else that they're telling you is a bunch of lies. It's a bunch of baloney, and it's not true. So that's my 2 cents. They're lying to you. Don't believe them, girl.
So Anna in the comments basically said, I think we're talking about a man's preference here. If it were out of a single mom versus a woman who didn't have kids, he would probably pick the woman who didn't have kids. But she doesn't want to hear that.
I swear to God, the next time someone asks me, what brings you here on a dating app? I'm going to say community service. The judge told me to talk to emotionally unavailable men for 6 weeks.
My husband and I have been married for 17 years. We got to the biggest fight we've ever gotten into, ever, over our toilet water. You tell me if I'm overreacting, because I really don't think I am. Okay, so here's what happened. Every single time I go out of town, my husband's incredible. Like, I travel a lot for work. I come home. He's so great about cleaning the house, doing the laundry, keeping up with the kitchen. The house is always immaculate when I come home. Somehow this man got it into his head that, you know what would be really cool is if you put one of those giant blue hockey discs in the back of your toilet water so that every time you flush, the toilet comes out blue. The toilet water comes out blue. Like we live at a 7-Eleven or something. So I come home, I'm using, I go to the bathroom and I'm like, why is the water blue? And he's like, oh, I bought these things to put in the back of the toilet. I was like, what were you doing at the store? Looking at the aisle of all the things for cleaning items for the house where you thought that would be a good idea. Take me through that. He's like, you're making such a big deal. You're being so dramatic. I'm like, I am not being dramatic. So for a month, I'm flushing the toilet and it's still blue. And I'm complaining about it every day. I'm like, Nick, I can't live like this anymore. I cannot live with the blue toilet water. So literally, we're laying in bed the other night and I just go on TikTok, how do I empty the back of my toilet tank so I can, so that I can get rid of this blue water. I literally put in the search bar, how do I empty the back of a toilet tank? He gets up in a fury, oh my God, you're making such a big deal about this. When did you get so highfalutin? Blah, 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 blah. You've changed so much. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, changed so much. We live in a pretty nice neighborhood. It's 2024. What are you doing where you think this was a good idea? So that night, he emptied the toilet bowl somehow. I still don't know how to do it. And it's great. It looks good now in the main bathroom, but not the master.
This might surprise some of you, but I do think this is a big deal because that man is clearly not appreciated for anything more than toilet water. So yeah, I do think this is a big deal. That man is absolutely justified in his reaction, and honestly, he needs to set some boundaries to ensure respect and appreciation for everything he does in that relationship. And that man better not say sorry when it somehow gets turned around on him.
What qualities do a girl have to bring out for you to consider like her to be your wife?
She bring me peace. Nothing. So
you sound like a red flag.
How am a red flag?
Because in my head, every time a man say this female brings me peace, I feel like that is an excuse for females to put up with that men put out and not give a reaction to it.
Here's how evil men can be. So 2 years ago, I was heavily in my sprinkle era. I was going to like little restaurant bars twice a week, networking, making connections. So, and don't take that wink for anything. It's not like no, or like weird stuff like that. I was literally connecting, okay? Anyway, I ended up meeting this guy. He like bought me a drink from across the bar, came over, started talking, and anyway, we're really hitting it off. But when you're talking to a middle-aged man, you have to look at his hands always. So I was like, clocked it, he's married. And I'm like, you're married? And he's like, oh, I'm going through this really nasty divorce right now, custody battle, all the things. And I honestly felt really bad for him, low-key. Like the way he was telling the story, mind you, I was at a certain age. This was 2 years ago, so if you know how old I am, then that's how old I was. He gives me like the whole rundown on that, and we did shift the conversation because it was a lot to unpack, like a very heavy conversation. I've never really talked to someone going through a messy, horrible divorce in that way. So we probably talked that night for like 4 or 5 hours, like literally like drink, yap. Here's when things take a turn. So when I got home that night, I ended up doing a full background check on him. And tell me why, baby, there is no wife. There is no kids. There's no nothing. You're gonna be like, wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I went on this man's Facebook, Instagram, radio silence. Not radio silence, by the way. I'm telling you, there is no trace of a wife, of kids, background check. He's never been married. There's no children. Honestly, in my mind, I felt that he could possibly be lying. So I'm like, if he's lying, let me go on his page so I can expose him and tell his wife. There was no one to expose him to. I ended up telling this story to someone recently. They said that some men have this sick, kinky, weird fantasy. Like, men basically enjoy the fact that a woman would get with them knowing they're married. Just know that men are sick and deluded, and something's really wrong with some of them. Because what the frick do you mean?
I don't chase, I attract, ayy. I see your moves and I adapt, ayy.
I hate when a guy asks, like, oh my gosh, like, how long was the previous guy before we started dating? Like, how do you explain to him that it was like the day before, the hour before we met, bro?
Feminism think they can replace the man, but they really can, cause these boys, they can't.
I'm saying they can't, but I'm just saying, but these boys ain't no men.
Well, if they raise the requirements, if they raise the requirements for the job, then meet the requirements. They ain't raising the requirements.
Yeah, they going for anything.
Man, that good.
Yeah.
Man, don't let him suck any ass. Man, don't let him be that'll let you rub on his bowl. Come on, man, she got him a good one. Huh? Because this group is more sexually driven than everybody want to feel good, homie. And they want to feel good to the extreme of whatever pleasure they can feel. They want the extreme pleasure. So man, it's the music, it's the entertainment, it's the culture. Man, that's why, homie, you can't get online without seeing the bad, fine, shaking that ass. Man, homie, you can't, they recommended it to you. Man, the ladies got that rose. Man, that rose, they got, that can make you for day. Homie, so we at the extreme of everything.
It's maxed out.
There's no more simple people. Man, I'm just a simple man. There's no more simplicity no more. Everything is extreme. So if the lady rose the requirements of what a had to meet, then men jump through them hoops to meet the requirements.
Yeah, but even in that scenario, she's taking the money for herself, right? So she's stashing away money for herself instead of stashing away money for the family. Does that make sense?
Should a woman have a secret bank account? We know a lot of men want traditional relationships where the woman is feminine, submissive. With that, she isn't expected to contribute to the household as far as finances, but she might be working. So if she's working, does she need to provide financially? Can she keep her money to herself to spend as she wishes? Can she have a separate bank account? And don't tell her husband how much is in it. Escape monies, so to speak. I mean, if we're going by tradition, she's not responsible for bills. But if she's not responsible for the bills of the house, then it should be okay, right? What do you guys think?
What is with these dudes and thinking that they are the prize? Let me know, because I'm confused. This guy asked me on a date, right? Okay. I'm like, cool, yeah. Like, I'm free such and such day. Like, let's do it. Tell me why. Dude replies and says, well, make sure to text me this weekend so that I can remember. What? I have to text you to remind you of the date that you asked me on? Crazy work. That is quite literally like almost insulting. Like, immediate ick. I just feel like ever since I've been single, I've just been learning that these dudes really think that they're the prize. Like, their egos are so big and they genuinely think like they are the ones that should be chased. Like, don't these dudes realize that they're supposed to chase the women? That's how it works, guys. Insane work. If you see me on that date, though, mind your business. He's fine.
It's like every time I decide maybe I'm a little too picky or maybe I should, loosen the reins a little bit on these men, that I just get like slapped in the face, proven wrong. It's actually crazy. So I'm gonna tell you all a little story time. So there's this guy that throughout the past year or so, we've been on probably like 4 or 5 dates. And every time we go on a date, it's cool, we talk for a little bit, and then I just kind of fall off. Honestly, it's my fault, okay? I create space and like I don't want to talk to him after that. But it's never been like super intense. Like, it's not like a ghosting situation. It's never like I owe him anything. It's just like we hang out and then, life stuff comes up, whatever.
So you notice how she's already making provisions for herself. But go ahead.
But he recently went to Coachella and was posting a lot, and it just looked like he was having a really good time. And I started thinking in my head like, oh, like maybe we could hang out again sometime soon. And he actually hit me up like a week later. So I was like, oh, perfect. And he hit me up. In the past, this guy, one of the reasons we stopped talking was because he kept inviting me over to his house. And I don't like that. Like, I feel like at the beginning stages of dating, you should be putting on like your absolute best side to me. I'm not the girl to just go be chilling at your house, laying in your bed, like with no strings attached. I don't know you. Like, that is very much like girlfriend, boyfriend material to me, not me getting to know somebody. So I made my boundaries very clear. And anyway, whenever he asked me to hang out, he like came to my house, he picked me up, took me to Target, told me what we were doing was a surprise, and he had me like pick out a candle, really cute, and took me to this park where he like brought a blanket and some games, and we had drinks, and we just sat and talked, and like it was really fun, and I thought it was really cute. And this was the first time that I was like, oh, like I could actually see myself like dating this guy, which is a big thing for me to think, okay? Because I don't think that about anybody. I am Mrs. like hard to get over here, and it's frustrating for me. I want to like people, like I want to have relationships, I want to date, but like I swear these men make it so hard.
Mind you, I do not know what's about to happen, but you stated that he was doing this whole inviting you over the house and you really didn't like that. He crossed your boundary. So assuming that should have been it, but because you saw him at Coachella, then you thought, oh shoot, that sounds fun. FOMO. I think I'll give him another chance. Okay.
So anyway, I start thinking this way. We're sitting up there and I'm like, oh, like I kind of have to use the bathroom. So there's no bathroom. It's at the park. He's like, well, I live 10 minutes down the road. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. When we get in the car, I'm like, no funny business. And he's like, okay. I'm like, no, like I just want to make my boundaries like very, very clear. Like, we're not going to be hanging out in your room, like on your bed. Like, that's not what's going to go down here. And he was like, no, like, I respect that, whatever. But then he made a comment that was like, if you can like resist. And I'm like, no, I know myself. I think I'm good. Like, I'm pretty sure I can resist you, babe. Anyway, it was good. We went, hung out with his roommates for a little bit, sat on his roof, had some good conversation, and then he took me home because whatever. Fast forward to last night, he invites me to this party in Denton, and I'm with my homegirl, and we were already out, so we were like, okay, like, let's go. We go, we get there, it's fun. I'm like playing beer pong with him. We're like a little handsy with each other, and it's fun. It's cute, flirty vibes, okay? And this man just progressively is getting like really, really drunk. And I'm not really in that era of my life anymore. Like, I don't know, I can handle my alcohol. I've been drinking for far too long, okay? But that's just kind of an ick to me whenever a guy gets too drunk and he starts like smacking my ass and stuff. And like, I'm like, nah, I'm not into this. So I tell his friend, like, hey, he really wants to drive home. I don't think that that's a good idea. You take it from here. Like, that's his roommate, that's his friend, he got it. And he's like, okay, bet, like, thank you so much. And me and my friend go to leave, and he like follows us out, and I'm thinking he's gonna like walk me to the car, right? And he does. I'm thinking he's gonna open the door for me, but he just stands in front of the door and is like, you're not gonna kiss me? You're not gonna kiss me? And I'm like, bro, no. Like, first of all, you're drunk. Second, I would just want to go home. And third, why are you standing in front of the door? My friend goes and gets in the driver's seat, but she's watching this happen.
Well, wait a minute. You guys were getting handsy. You just said that. So if you're getting handsy, the drinks are flowing, then it's not really that far-fetched that he would think, hey, this is something a little bit more. Maybe we can progress by a kiss. And then next day, hey, how's it going? It's not that far-fetched of an idea.
Like, I say no like 4 times. Like, it started to get to a point where I was like aggressive, because I was like, if I'm saying no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm saying no and you're trying to like give me a bouquet of flowers. If I say no, that means no. Like, leave me alone. And he's standing in front of the car door, so I can't get in. And he doesn't stop until my friend gets out and starts walking around. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, it was just giving major red flag vibes. Like, that is probably the biggest red flag you can give me. That's so scary. Like, one, we haven't even been talking that long, like, for you to even expect anything out of me. And two, like, that's just so creepy. Like, ew. And I don't believe in like alcohol brings out your true self necessarily, because I've definitely done some things while I was drunk that my sober self would never do. But it is very telling whenever somebody is that drastically different whenever they're drunk. Like, I don't know, that gives me the ick. And also, we're grown. Why are you getting that drunk at a house party on a Sunday? Like, you're a man. This is the same man who told me that he likes whenever girls like are submissive and whenever they let a man lead them. I'm like, this is you being fit to lead a woman? Like, what? Needless to say, I won't be talking to him again. But the moral of the story is how discouraging and disappointing it is to constantly be like disappointed by these men over and over again. And like, every time that I'm like, oh, like, I think I might like this person, I think this might go somewhere, then they have to do literally the freakiest on the planet. Like, what is wrong with you?
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I guess I don't. You acting like it came out of nowhere. He just jumped on you. No. You guys stopped talking. You said, man, hey, you pressing some boundaries. I don't like that. But then you saw this man was out having fun, living his life at a party. He was at Coachella. That's basically one big party. I mean, I know it's a music festival, but it's a big party. And then you say, oh, shoot, that looks really fun. Let me go out to a house party. I mean, you'll go out to a house party. You yourself said we're getting handsy. We're touching on each other. Just a little bit. We're not doing too much. And then you're surprised at the end of the night when he wants a kiss from you. I mean, I'm just trying to get you to read some context clues here. That's literally it.
I have more questions for y'all. First of all, are men more afraid of committing to relationships than women? If so, why? Secondly, I've seen a lot of TikTok videos saying that men would divide women into different categories, like instantly. It doesn't matter how long they've known each other. It could just be like they're meeting for the first time. Like, men would know if they want to pursue a long-term relationship with this person, or They just want something casual out of it, a situationship out of it. How and why do you guys do that? It takes time to actually get to know someone, and sparks can grow, right? So how do you guys know that for sure, like instantly?
But I think the problem with dating apps is that because you go into any relationship or any communication with someone with the understanding that you're hoping to meet your life partner or your love of your life or your soulmate or whatever, there's no like foundation that you're building with this person, because it's always like, how many dates until we do XYZ? How many dates until we have this conversation or until we become official? And it's never like, I'm getting to know you because we want to see if we're compatible. It's like, well, we matched on this app, so we must be compatible. And then we have these benchmarks that we have to meet quickly because this is the end goal, right? But
I guess you don't know people's motives.
Right.
And these modern women who be talking about, I've done the inner work, I've healed, they don't realize they be saying silly stuff like this, and it really, really, really irks a lot of men. This is not effective communication, nor is it emotional intelligence.
Am I the asshole for refusing to drive if my wife is in the car? For years after we got married, I could never figure out why I would be so angry and moody anytime my wife and I went somewhere. Then it finally clicked. I was only in a bad mood if I drove with my wife. My wife is the absolute worst backseat driver I've ever seen. Doesn't matter how I drive, she still finds things to complain about. Why'd you go this way? If you would have went that way, we would have been there by now. You're driving too fast. You're driving too slow. You could have made that light unfucking real. That light was red. You blew through it. Can you brake any harder, idiot? There were 17 great parking spots, and you had to choose parking spot number 8, which is the absolute worst. You turn your blinker on too late. You turn your blinker on too early. Why are you accelerating so slowly? Whoa, was it necessary to accelerate that quickly? Etc. So for the past couple of years, I have refused to drive. I now make her do all the driving, and lo and behold, I'm no longer a grumpy person when we travel. She has now gotten upset that she is always driving and told me that I needed to at least split driving 50-50 with her. I told her if she could keep her opinions to herself while I was driving, then I would. She agreed. So last weekend I started driving. She couldn't even last 3 minutes without criticizing me. I pulled over and I told her I'm done. Either she takes over driving or we're going home. She eventually took the wheel, as she muttered that I drive like a moron, even though there's only one of us who has any tickets and has at-fault accidents on their record.
Ooh,
and it's not me.
Ooh. Clock the T. Clock it.
So, am I the asshole for refusing to drive if she's present?
Come on, man. Come on, man. What are you doing out here? Come on, man.
The reason why I blame men for why women cheat, and I'll always say it's your man's fault, and you guys get really upset with me and be like, no, she's got no morals, that same woman is very loyal to somebody else in her life, and she will be. She's just not loyal to you. Women that are dealing with men that are too passive, that are the most disloyal. It's the women that are dealing with the nice guy. It's the women that are dealing with the man that can't set boundaries. A man that comes to me who's been cheated on, he'll tell me, I never stopped her from doing anything. I allowed her to go on holidays whenever she wanted. I allowed her to come home whenever she wanted. She could post whatever she wanted on Instagram, and she still cheated on me. And I say to them, duh. And it's because men haven't understood the psychology of women. Yes, we say we want freedom, but really we need boundaries. And when we don't have any, what will happen is you'll attract women that want complete and utter freedom. Women who want freedom don't want commitment, they don't want compromise, and they don't want to be loyal to their partner. Women that don't want complete freedom, but actually want some boundaries on what the relationship looks like because they enjoy compromise. They enjoy meeting each other in the middle. They enjoy spending time together. So those women are less attracted to a man that just has an open door policy where you can just do whatever you want.
Blaming men for a woman cheating is diabolical work. Here's what I'll say. Are you responsible for the women that you bring in your life? Yes, absolutely. As a man, it is your job to properly vet women so you can eliminate the skeezers, the hoes, and the Jezebels. Now, just because you refine your dating pool does not mean you won't get cheated on. You just lessen your chances. You can't control all the variables because people have free will. You can date a quote-unquote good girl and she can still cheat on you because sometimes good people make bad decisions. You can do everything right in the relationship and she can still cheat. That's not on you. And I don't want to hear this about women need boundaries. We all need boundaries. Freedom is an illusion. If we truly had freedom to do whatever we want, the world would be in chaos. Honestly, this whole clip is an insult to women. You're pretty much putting women on the same level as children. When children make mistakes, you blame the parent. When women make mistakes, you blame the boyfriend. This is just some more to eliminate women from taking any accountability whatsoever.
So because two guys in retail or working at the grocery store didn't know how to do their job, then that's why you're through with all men? Do you hear yourself?
This is why I don't with you men. This is why. I go into the grocery store. I'm looking for fresh or frozen cranberries to make delicious fluff salad for Easter. I see two men working there in produce. Hey, do you have any fresh cranberries? Look at me like I just asked him for unicorn cutlets. He goes, fresh cranberries aren't even in season yet. They're still in the bog. Just like that. I was like, could have just said no. And then the other guy, Tweedledum, was like, yeah, we don't have frozen either. And I was like, I've literally bought frozen cranberries. And they're like, nah. So I'm like, okay, goodbye. I walk away. Find the first woman employee that I can find. Ask her the same question. Oh, we don't have fresh yet, but we do have frozen. And let me tell you exactly where they are. The directions she gives me are perfect. I find the frozen cranberries and they're on sale. This is why. I'm so embarrassed, dude. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. This guy that I'm talking to just sent me a snap of him in bed with his shirt off. Dude. Why sent him that? I thought it was funny. Until I sent it, and then I realized, like, that's not funny. We've been talking for a day. We've been talking for not even 24 hours. No, we're not even talking. We're not even talking. We're snapping. I'm trying to get to talking. And I just sent him this.
I do see where he's coming from. It does sound like you're flirting a little bit, but if you step back, then you're like, oh, she's giving him attitude. He act like he didn't hear me the first time. So essentially, when he's asking about your drink, I say it's going to be this price. And he says, well, what about this? And I up the price again. So now, if he's thinking, he understands, oh, I get it. She's really not available. And nothing that I say is going to, change her mind. No amount of money is going to change her mind. I do get where he's coming from, but she was actually giving him pushback and attitude. I think she did a good job.
My fiance is upset with me over how I rejected another man during a night out.
How she rejected him. Okay.
My fiance and I are both in our 30s. We've been together for 4 years, getting married in a few months. I totally adore him, and I think we have a good relationship overall. We go out a lot because we both love music. We have a great community of friends, and we see them pretty often at shows. We were at a show last night, and I was standing with a girlfriend while my fiance was outside with a few guys. For context, I was very much a weird girl in high school, but from my mid-20s on, I'd say I'm pretty conventionally attractive. On an average night out to hear music, I generally get approached or hear passing comments from men 3 to 5 times. Frankly, I'm 33, and it's not something I find very fun or enjoyable anymore. When men are polite about it, I am too. And polite dudes usually take my gentle rejection well, and so that's not an issue, usually. However, that was not the case last night. A guy approached my friend and pointed at me saying something I couldn't hear. My friend shakes her head at him and says, no. He seemingly not willing to take the hint, comes over to me and says, quote, my friend wants your autograph, and points to a guy over by the bar. I laugh because I said, what? And he repeated himself. My friend wants your autograph because you're very pretty. I said, no thanks, I'm good. He asked a third time. My internal polite response clock had run out. I said, okay, $60 cash or Cash App. He looks surprised and then sort of laughs and says, how about we buy you a drink? And I said, price just went up to $100. You still want it? And he shook his head and went back to his friend at the bar. My girlfriend and I had a laugh about what a totally bizarre way to hit on someone that was, and that was that. Later in the night, when we were all together again after the show, my friend told everyone the story. My fiance got really quiet and was kind of standoffish the rest of the night. When we got home, he asked why I hadn't told him about that interaction. Honestly, he has gotten a bit insecure in the past about these things, and we had specifically agreed I would avoid telling him about dudes hitting on me. So I reminded him of that. He was still really quiet and sulky, and eventually I asked him what was going on. He said he didn't like how I handled it. He said it sounded like I was flirting and egging the guy on with my responses. Long story short, we argued about it. We do not see eye to eye on it, and things still kind of feel tense today, but we haven't discussed it further. I understand my fiance struggles with anxiety and can get insecure and worried. I always want to do what I can to support him and remind him I love him, but I don't think I did anything wrong here. Was my response flirty or inappropriate? In my eyes, I was intentionally the guy who was being pushy and disrespectful, and I'm 100% okay with that.
The biggest lie ever told is that just because you have been in a lot of different relations with men that nobody's ever going to want you. And that is a lie. Like, there's women out here who have had, like, what men would deem as a high body count, and they still get with them, still wife them up, still take them home to their mom. And it all boils down to is how attractive is that woman to the masses? Do other men still want her? Do other men still want to obtain her? Do other men still want to get with her? As long as other men are still wanting to get with that woman, she's always going to, like, be able to get wiped up. Always. Because men like things to have things that other men want. That is the thing about it. And women are no different. Women to them are just like freaking cars and other collectible items that they want, that other men want. So you're really not even competing against other women in a sense. You're competing against the judgment of other men. For real. That's what it is. So this is just my opinion, okay? Like, take with this information what you want, and I'm not telling anybody to go do anything or to live any certain kind of lives, you know? I'm just saying, like, men are still going to choose what they want as long as other men want it.
I really thought the idea was to look for healthy relationships, but once again, modern women don't really understand what the assignment is.
So many women right now, the first one to send me some money and buy me a purse wins. 1, 2, 3, go.
Like, dead ass, what happened to the real? Like, what happens to that's gonna make sure you straight? They're not gonna make sure that they good. What happened? It's like a drought. It's literally like a drought. I don't even care if you're fine no more. I'm not even going off of looks. I'm strictly going off of how you feel me, how you treat me, and the hustle you have. I can't date it that has no motion, has no hustle, sits around waiting for Hannah. No, I built my brick by brick. You have to come with your already built brick by brick too. Okay? Like, what is going? I literally dating in this life and in this music industry is like 10 times even worse. I don't even know.
Well, the things that you were talking about, you wouldn't do this to me if you loved me. A lot of modern women have an idea of love that really isn't realistic. So the fact that you're sitting up here, maybe he could have done something better, but maybe there are some unrealistic expectations in there too. That's what that sounds like.
So I'm 24 years old, and I've been trying my hand at dating men specifically for probably about 5-6 years now, in a serious way. I'm single at the moment. My boyfriend and I just broke up recently, and I have probably dated about like 4 to 5 men, seriously. Keep running into the same issues every single time I date a man, and I've been trying to like really get to the root of what it is. And now I know what you're thinking. You probably have a type. I do not have a type. These men don't know each other. They're not friends. They're not from the same area. They don't look alike. I really do not have a type. The only thing that these men have in common is that they are men. I really have been reflecting a lot and trying to figure out what like the root of all these issues is. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, but I'm not the reason that any of these relationships ended. One of the main issues that I've come to recognize is that I don't think men are really socialized to know what it means to truly love someone, like love their partner and care for their partner. Obviously, I'm not saying this is all men, but I think it's just not normalized for them to like I don't know, just like, I guess I don't know how to phrase it. What I'm saying, for example, is that every single one of these men individually has looked me in my eyes and told me that I am the love of their life, I'm the most important person in their life, that they would take a bullet for me, and every single one of them has treated me horribly, okay? I don't know about you, but when I tell somebody they're the love of my life and that they're the person I care about the most, I show it. I'm treating them accordingly. Part of it that really trips me up is that they believe it. They actually believe in their heart that I'm the love of their life and I'm the person they care about the most. I started calling it out. I would be like, you do not love me and you do not care about me. Like, point blank period. Otherwise you wouldn't be treating me badly. And they will argue and they get genuinely offended. They get offended. I honestly pity them because I don't think they're socialized to know what that means. And I don't know how to get it across in a meaningful way to them. They just don't listen. And I'll be like, okay, you wouldn't have done this bad thing to me if you actually loved me in the way that you say you do. That is not what love is. That's not what love is. When you love someone, you don't do things to intentionally or even unintentionally hurt them. Why is that considered love to you? I'm just I don't know where it's coming from. I honestly pity them because that has to be awful, but I can't handle it anymore, dude. I'm having a hard time too because not to bring sexuality into this, but I did date a woman at one point for 3 years and I felt so loved and cared for by her. There was no question about it. I really started questioning myself and my sexuality when I was 19 and going off into college, and our relationship ended because I was like, I think I might actually be straight. And that's just how I felt. I couldn't do anything about it. I felt awful. Obviously, that's horrible. And now I'm really not attracted to women in that way, which sucks. That sucks. I want to be with a man, but I don't think it's possible to find a man that has that capability. Where are they? Where are they? I'm looking around and none of them know. I can't.
Men absolutely have more options than women when it comes to dating. So I saw a TikTok on here from another creator talking about how there are plenty of beautiful women everywhere, but coming across a very handsome man is really rare. And I could not agree any more with that creator. I come across beautiful women every single day, not only just online, but also in real life. However, coming across a very attractive man probably once every 8 months. And I know looks are not everything, but attraction is what catches the eye first before you get to know someone. And not only just about looks, right? Not only do I come across beautiful women every day, these women are established and doing very well for themselves. However, I just feel like coming across a man that not only looks good, but is doing well for himself financially and is emotionally intelligent is very, very rare. Hence why I say men have more options when it comes to quality women than women have in terms of quality men.
Does anyone else have a dry phone? I get no good morning text, no good night text, no one to FaceTime. The notifications that I get is from emails. I have barely any friends, no best friends, no man. Nobody is texting my phone. My phone is so dry. Sometimes I do want a little good morning text. I miss that shit.
Watch this and we're gonna talk about it.
Do you believe the reason why the divorce rate is higher now is because we refuse to put up with the infidelity, the lies, and the cheating for the sake of being provided for?
No, I think we as women have been sold a dream and we're realizing most times it's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
The nightmare of being a wife to a man that has no leadership, that doesn't desire to provide, that wants to go 50-50. So now you're in a passionless relationship with a roommate that you sometimes get to have sex with. That's not ideal.
Sometimes it's ridiculous.
You don't really desire that person. You've settled for that person. That you tolerate this person. You don't appreciate this person. And when you realize that that's the truth, and now we live into this space where people are so I need to feel seen, heard, and acknowledged. But do you allow for growth and grace? Your standard is so high initially with a person that doesn't even know you. How do you teach someone how to treat you if you don't allow them the space and time for you to actually teach them? Mm-hmm. So now everybody is quitting early and quitting unnecessarily because it's I was told to get married and I did this and this isn't what I was expecting. Okay, well, how do you make it into what you were expecting? How do you do that work? How do you get into that bag? But mostly right now, everyone is just pushing the label instead of its contents. Well, if I have a jar with a label on it, but it's empty, it's still empty. But But if you have a jar with the contents in it, then it's a bottle of whatever you actually have. And most people aren't bottling or embodying husband and wife. They're embodying the label of marriage without its contents. So I say that to say most people get divorced, and this is why 70% of divorce are initiated by women, because they tell us this is the dream, but it's actually a nightmare. We're not clear on what it even means to be an actual wife. And most men are not prepared for what it means to be a husband. It's a responsibility. People are going into this lifelong, most important decision that you'll ever make in your life like, you don't even know if this person has staying power. You haven't even stopped to ask, like, what are you still healing from? What desires do you have? How many times do you need to have sex in a week? What do you need from me weekly or monthly to feel seen, heard, acknowledged, appreciated, and respected? Like, the things are not happening. It's like, I like you enough. You were persistent enough. Okay, we can go together. Boom, we have kids. Boom, we get married. Now we're stuck. That's not the dream. That's a nightmare. I don't even like you. I tolerate you because we split the bills. It's never ideal, in my opinion.
Question answered.
Yeah, I think on a general scale, that's pretty much it. I think a lot of people don't really know or understand. I think from a male's perspective, you're expected to do a whole lot, but there's not a lot that you get in return. I think somebody in the comments said it being a husband feels like a prison sentence. Yeah, TTYL said being a husband is a prison sentence. Why do you think he said that? Because I'm expected to pay, I'm expected to stay in this little parameter to control all of these things and be happy about it. I'm wanting something from you, and I'm saying, okay, if you're saying to me, in order to get this, or in order to have that, or in order to have this type of relationship, then I have to give you this in exchange. I think I can do that. And if I don't have it right now, I really love you, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make the commitment to you, because marriage is, it starts as love, but then it progresses into commitment. You're supposed to love somebody so much, quote unquote. That's what you think you do. You're supposed to love somebody so much that you say, okay, I'm willing to build with you. Like, you show me enough to know, okay, I'm gonna get upset, but we're gonna work it out together. But what a lot of men are finding is when they get into these actual marriages, the woman just continues to pull in that commitment. I'm thinking of the video that I just posted the other day that talked about a man was a stepdad, and a woman was like, well, you got to man up. Even though my kids are talking to you crazy out the side of their neck, you still got to man up and be the stepdad, because this is what you signed up for. Modern women will continue to pull on that commitment as long as it benefits them. And then when they're done, they say, you know what? I deserve to be happy. I'm going to get up out of here. And what man is going to be excited about that?
Hey, you guys. So I'm here to ask you guys, is chivalry dead? In this 2025, this market, this pool of dating, is chivalry dead? Are men still doing those things? Are they opening up the doors for women? Are they pulling out chairs? Are they holding the door open for women these days? I see it sometimes, but then it's not as prevalent as I would have expected. So that makes me wonder, do women just not want it anymore? They just don't expect it from men. They're just not requiring it from men. So I'm curious, what do you guys think? Are you a woman who even wants a man to open a door for you? Are you a woman who wants a man to offer to let you order first? Like, is that something that women want? Is it something that men do? Is it only for men of a certain generation? Is it only for men who were taught that? As a man, would you be okay with a woman saying to you, hey, I would like for you to open the door for me. I would like for you to do these things. Would you be open to that? So I'm curious, is chivalry dead? Does it still exist? This probably comes as no surprise to you guys, but I promise you, chivalry does exist. I believe that I naturally just attract that type of man when it comes to chivalry, being chivalrous, opening the door, pulling out chairs, making sure that you order first, you know, just that kind of protective demeanor. I guess I kind of attract that chivalrous type of man. I don't know how I will respond if a man that I'm going out with does not open a door for me. I will literally sit in the car and wait until he gets the picture, come around and open the door. Or I will stand outside and wait for him to open the door. I actually did that. Well, no, my ex was pretty good at that, but I do recall one time that I did stand outside, like, I'm waiting for you to open the door, and he sat down in his seat and he came back around and opened the door. And then after that, that was the end of it. He kind of knew what the expectation is, or what it was. So I'm curious, you guys tell me, do you practice chivalry? Is chivalry outdated? What do you guys think? Tell me, what's your experience been, women and men? What has your experience been? And what do you want to do? What do you like to do for the woman you're dating, the woman you just happen to be out with? Tell me, I'd like to know.
I think a lot of women are still requiring it. It's just, you guys say that men are hunters. And what do good hunters do? They adapt. They look at the landscape and the environment and say something's off. Something's different. And what would that be in this case? Don't approach me. Don't open no doors for me. Don't talk to me here. Don't come at me there. I'm married when you're not married. A whole bunch of lies. And, well, we do this because we want to say, I get it and I understand it. But at some point in time, you get to the point of the boy, or in this case, the woman who cried wolf. And then the man is going to adapt to that and say, hey, you know, I might do it for a selected number of women in my life, or people or friends or colleagues, but a random woman, at this point in time, it might be a 50-50 chance whether I want to mess with you or you know, extend that chivalry to you. I got to protect myself.
You really don't see nothing wrong with you going and buying your ex-husband's son a car?
Because I promised that to him. Like, regardless of the circumstances of him and his dad, me and his dad, like, I told him that I was going to buy him a car for his 16th birthday.
You know I needed that for my car, though. You know I needed to get my car fixed up.
But I didn't promise you nothing like that. I promised him.
It was my money. You ain't even make the money. That's my money. You took my money and gave it to your ex. Y'all gotta be still.
We're not doing anything. It's just literally, I'm keeping my promise. I promised things to you that I have kept. So why do I need to turn my back on him because me and his dad no longer together?
Turn your back. It ain't about turning your back. He ain't your kid. You taking money out of our house and giving it to your ex. How that sound? Now, that's crazy work.
It's not an issue. It's not an issue. We'll get the money back eventually. But I mean, wasn't nothing wrong with like a little cash car for him. You know?
What you pay for? How much you pay for the cash car? How much you pay for it?
Like a little over $7,000.
$7,000? You took $7,000 out of our house to get to your ex.
Yes.
Basically, you don't think your ex could afford that $7,000?
He couldn't. But that's why I told his son a long time. His son was 9 at the time. When I told his son that I was going to get him a car when he turned 16, guess what? I got him a car. And you got a problem with it.
Why you ain't trade your car and use that money for his car?
Why would I trade my car in?
Why would you take my money? Why would you take my money?
It's our money though. We're married.
Did you make the money? Did you make the money, kid?
I made most of it.
Doing what?
It don't even matter.
Baby, you don't make that much money selling hair. You don't make that much money selling hair.
Okay.
That money came from me.
Okay, but it's still our money. So now do we need to split our money now?
Yeah. I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Split our money.
Really?
Nah, I ain't going for that, kid. No.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Well, I don't like that you taking money out of our house to give it to your ex, basically. He a deadbeat. He a deadbeat dad for that. The fact that he let you take money out of our household and give it to his son, he a deadbeat dad for that.
He respect me more because I kept a promise to his son. You should respect me for that.
Respect?
Yes, because I do the same thing for your son. I do a lot for your son.
Our son lives in this house. Of course
you have a son, but you had a son before I got with you.
Yet you ain't bought him no car.
He not even 16.
You still ain't bought him a car. Is he old enough to drive?
It doesn't matter. I'll get him one when he turns 21.
No, I'm good. You might well go and get your stuff and leave.
I'm not going nowhere, so it don't even matter. But yep, y'all. So he mad, and I don't
you
get
stay
him.
here. I'm out.
You gotta get out of there, man. Put the broom down, go into the fridge, get you a little something to drink, get you some chips out the pantry, and get up out of there, dog. It's time. It's time.
One thing about me is if a girl is up in my comments tagging a man to try to ask if what I'm talking about is credible or correct information, to like check with them, I will block the person so fast. I'm a certified personal trainer. I'm a fitness coach. I'm specifically a glute specialist. If you are up in my comments tagging a man, why? Because I'm a woman? I can't be credible? Okay.
Oh gosh. Look, not everything is about gender. We're talking about muscle growth. Do you think the glutes aren't a muscle? Now, she did keep good on her word about blocking everybody who tagged me. Like, she has a full-time job just blocking people tagging me. You're not special. Has nothing to do with you being a woman. Has to do with the fact that you're dealing with muscle growth. And both men and women can comment on muscle growth. I get tagged in other people's videos. People get tagged in my videos. It's nothing to do with gender. It's everything to do with knowledge and trying to get the best knowledge out there. TNFO.
A few days ago, Tracee Ellis Ross said that she preferred to date younger men because they had less toxic masculinity, and the internet seems to be outraged. And when I say the internet, I mean men. They're saying that it's a double standard because if a man were to go on an interview and say that he preferred to date younger women, then everyone would be outraged, say it was grooming, and I definitely agree, they would say that. But I think it's important for us to dissect her entire statement and not her just saying the fact that she would prefer to date younger men, but why she prefers to date younger men. And that reasoning being that they have less toxic masculinity. In order for it to be a double standard, there has to be an exact inverse of that statement. So I'm coming to the internet to ask men, what would be a reason that you prefer to date younger women? I'd like to see the answers so that we can truly dissect whether it will be a double standard, because the comparison here isn't a man that prefers to date younger women. It's why they prefer to date younger women.
I feel like they've already said it. Men have already said it. Same thing in reverse. Not as much trauma, much happier. They're excited to see the man. They're grateful for the things that the man does, the places that the man takes them. Whereas a lot of these modern women who are older talk, oh, well, you can't impress me with that because I've already seen that. So you gotta come with more. Pass.
Because when I walked in, it was packed. And what do you think I saw? What do you think I saw?
What'd you see?
Exactly what I thought I was going to see.
What?
80 women sitting alone. No men in sight. None.
I saw so many Black women try to solve a problem in dating by starting to host events in person, trying to create third spaces to facilitate dating like offline. And you know what would happen every single time? The men were not signing up. They would be selling tickets to speed dating, and they would always end up with men's tickets on sale. Always, because they weren't buying any. Just the other day, a big account that I follow for Black creatives did like this cute Cupid thing where they were like, hey, send us a profile about yourself and we would love to post it and like play matchmaker. Sounds like a cute idea, right? Not one single man sent their profile in. And mind you, this is an account that has well over 100,000 followers. It's just time to stop. It's time to stop. They have made it very loud and clear that they do not.
Singles event, and here's why I think we're doomed to be single for the rest of our lives. That was a bit dramatic, but let me tell my story. So I went to singles night at the church's Charlotte campus. Now, I don't go to that church, but I started following Pastor Stephen since he was a guest pastor at my church earlier this month. And when I found out that he was writing a book on dating and relationships, I was interested because, listen, your girl could use some divine intervention in that area. But I'll be honest, I didn't want to go at first. I figured it's a Christian singles event. It's going to be 50, 11 women there and like 2 men. Plus, they were advertising it as a conversation that you wouldn't expect to have at church. And I thought, I've heard enough of those modern dating and relationship podcasts. I don't need to hear any more, especially not with a biblical spin. Instead of having meaningful conversations about finding and building Christ-centered relationships,
we just left the event. I think we were just saying that we think that we've actually hit rock bottom.
No, it was actually.
We think we've actually hit rock bottom, and I think we were either punked, catfished, or
like a sick
And my spirit, while I was there, my spirit told me, no mas, por favor. I am not going to no more of these, okay? That rhymed. period. I'm not going to anymore, and here's why. So that singles event was cool because they actually had a mix and mingle session at the end where they put us in a very cool atmosphere for people to talk and meet with each other. Although there was like 3 men there and 300 women, I loved the fact that they did that. I thought that was really cool. But my thing is, you go to one single.
I'm reading the comments. April Mason says, as a retired matchmaker, after almost 20 years, men have never attended these events in droves. This isn't new. That's why it's best to go out and have a life and meet people in real life. Spoken from the OG herself.
Am I the asshole for leaving my own birthday dinner because my girlfriend turned it into a proposal for herself?
Wait, what?
I, 28 male, had my birthday dinner last weekend, and my girlfriend, Sarah, 27 female, offered to plan it. I was excited because I usually keep things low-key, but she said she wanted to make it special. She booked a nice restaurant and invited close friends and family. Everything was going great until it was time for dessert. The waiter brought out a cake, but instead of my name, it said, "Will you marry me, Sarah?" I was completely blindsided. Whoa. Sarah got all teary-eyed and turned to me and said, "Well, this is the best surprise ever, right?" Everyone around us started clapping and her friends were filming. I just sat there stunned. She took my silence as hesitation and started going on about how she knew I wasn't big on grand gestures, but she can't wait anymore, and she said that she took matters into her own hands. At that moment, I stood up and said, "This is my birthday. If you wanted a proposal, you should have talked to me about it first." And then I grabbed my stuff and I walked out. Sarah was mortified, and her friends blew up my phone, calling me an asshole for embarrassing her and ruining the night. She even said I humiliated her when she was trying to do something romantic. Now my family is split. Some say I should have just gone along with it for the night, while others think she crossed a major boundary.
These modern women, you know what? Let me say this. Maybe it's been a long time and she's like, man, when is this man going to propose to me? I need it in the worst way. But these women, all right.
Why do you guys match with you on dating apps and then not message you back? I know this for a fact based on how many men messaged me about this. The majority of guys think that dating apps are a numbers game, so they're gonna swipe right on nearly everyone. These are 2 direct quotes from men. Guys swipe on everyone, then when we match, we check their profile. Girls swipe on who they like. We swipe right on many. Once we match, we'll dive into the profile. That's when we decide. The second most common response was that they changed their mind or they had second thoughts. Another guy said, pass the threshold of swiping right, but not hot enough to actually meet or message. The third most commonly mentioned was that they have other conversations or priorities. Most likely have different options running, not their turn yet. We've also matched with other people and are already having conversations with them. The fourth most commonly mentioned was that they were busy or overwhelmed. I'm busy, I'm burnt out, it's tiring always being the one to come up with something witty to start a conversation. Another guy said, sometimes overwhelmed, other times it's logistics. And the fifth most commonly mentioned was insecurity or anxiety. Here's what a few men said after admitting to hesitation based on fear or anxiety. Scared of being rejected or feeling like we're inadequate. Afraid of being seen as creepy or desperate. Do not wait around wondering why he didn't message you, because based on these honest responses from men, if he wanted to, he would.
I was on a flight to Nashville yesterday and I was behind a group of guys going on a bachelor party, which is no shock, right? The city is full of bachelor and bachelorette parties. But what is a shock is the way that men will act when they get together in a group. It is always so surprising to me that the second they all get together, they just become these men who have such a blatant disregard and disrespect of women. Honestly, it always shocks me because I was sitting near these men on the airplane. And they were each in different rows. And I would hear them talking to their seatmates, and they seemed like kind, sweet guys who were talking about their wives and their kids and their wedding and all of these things. But when they were in their group, I was standing behind them in a group. One guy said to another, he said, hey, did you get your girl's number? Talking about the girl he was sitting next to. And he said, no, I didn't get her number. She was married. And his buddy looks at him and goes, yeah, so are you, dude. And the guy goes, yeah, so it basically evened it out. We still could have made it work. And I was just standing there behind all of these married men and men who are soon to be married and thinking like, wow, they're all in on this together. They're all laughing and joking and making light of this together. And every single one of them has a ring on their finger or is going to a bachelor party because they're getting married. And I cannot fathom a world in which I would talk about my partner that way, where I would talk about my marriage that way, where I would disrespect my husband in that way. People think it's disrespectful that I ask my husband to be an equal partner, but that is what's disrespectful. That is the way men treat women. And that is the thing that always blows my mind. They get into this group and they think, hey, this is open season. I can say whatever I want about my wife, about my life, about my kids, about my marriage, and it doesn't count because I'm with a group of men and we're all thinking the same thing. Isn't that sad? That a group of men get together and that's how they act. Okay, and here's the thing. I don't even know if these guys mean what they're saying when they're in a group, and maybe some of them do, but I think the overwhelming majority of them get into this group and they just feel like they have to play along with being this kind of guy, when in reality, they love their wife, they love their kids, and they do this because of what? To like appeal to their friends, to be a part of the bro code. Like, what is it? Is it just like assumed every man doesn't actually really love his wife? Like, I think there is something that we need to understand about how men act when they're together. Because when I'm with my girlfriends, we talk about our marriages. We talk about things that are difficult in our marriages. Never do we ever joke about cheating on our husbands. That's just not part of the gig. That's not part of our friendship. It's not about, oh, can we be dirty scumbags? Like, no, we talk about things that we're actually going through, like deep life. And these guys are joking about infidelity. And I just can't understand where that comes from. I really can't. And I'm so interested. I like, what is it? Because I actually think most men love their wives and wouldn't cheat on them, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
You playing with me. You playing with me. The way she put how she talked about her husband, how she discussed her husband on this here internet, talking about, I was about to leave that man. I was about to do, oh, I was just talking about being an equal partner. What you talk? Are you serious? Are you serious? You sat up there and said, now this is a man that you said out of your mouth was good to you. Oh man, he listens to me and great partner, fantastic dad. But you know, we talked about him helping around the house more, and he was doing that. He was doing that. And then it seemed like one time throughout that time, he said, man, hey, I was late to work. I'm so sorry. I just forgot to empty the dishwasher or whatever it was. And so, yeah, you know, but that was almost the thing that broke the straw that broke the camel's back. Because he had a mental lapse in judgment. You're sitting up saying how great of a man he is, but then you sitting up here keeping count about what he's doing. You guys don't seem, and this is what the problem is with a lot of these modern women. You guys seem to forget what you're saying here on this app and how you convey it. I was talking to my wife the other day about how women say stuff. Oh, when I say it's okay, it's not bad, is it? You guys want men to protect you, not to joke about these types of things. And I get it. I understand. I know where you're coming from. But you sit up here and act like you don't know women. You've never seen women. You never come across a woman, especially on this app, that shows her entire behind. There was one video that was all the rage where a woman, I wasn't attracted to my man. You know, if let me tell you about my man. He did this to me and he said this about me. Another woman was talking about how she was bragging essentially about how in love she was with her man. But instead of saying, you know, sometimes these guys just walk up and you know, I see guys going here and there and I don't really even notice them because I'm so enamored with my man. I don't notice nobody. She said, oh man, I see guys that look good. Okay. I see hot guys, fine guys, guys with hot bodies, fine bodies. Really? In reverse, would you like if a man said, man, that woman, that thing that she was carrying behind her, oh man, I gotta tell you, that was something. Yeah, but I love my girl though. I love my girl though. Oh man, the thing that she had on the front of her, on the front side and the back side, and then the face card don't decline that. But you know, I love my women. I love my woman. I love her. That's a form of cheating. That's a form of giving your attention to somebody else. But y'all don't recognize it as that because it's not offensive to you. There's another woman on here talking about, and the man, mind you, had gone with her through heart failure. And she came back through it, thank God. Talking about how he didn't prefer the things that she was wearing. I don't think that goes with what you got going on. She thought it was an interesting story for TikTok, But the women in the comments, oh, if he'd have said something like that to me, we would have been getting in a major, or girl, he don't like you, divorce him. So a man can't comment on what a woman is wearing, his wife, to be exact, is wearing. But we know plenty of women out here comment, oh, I ain't take that out, girl. He walked out the house looking like that, trying to embarrass me, girl. But it's a problem when men do it. Huh? Maybe they shouldn't have been talking like that. But it came out of your own mouth what I think a lot of men would think when they hear this clip. Maybe you shouldn't have been joking like that, but maybe they were just joking. I hear a lot of women, I hear a lot of men joke like this. Maybe not a whole bunch of them, but maybe they clowning around. Oh, that's your girl, right? Oh, that's you, man. But y'all get out and do, oh, if I wouldn't marry the things that I would do to him. How do you know women are saying that? The comments say that. These women, not even celebrities, they're on this, and you hear women say, man, these women are really going through these men's posts and saying, oh man, if I had just one chance with him, and oh man, I'm ready to drop him right now. But you want to act surprised? That's what modern women be doing. You guys be setting yourself up. You're putting yourself up like y'all not doing anything wrong. And you wonder why it's hard for men to communicate with you guys, because y'all don't think that, y'all never take accountability. Y'all don't think y'all are ever capable of doing anything wrong. Come back to the real world with the rest of us.